embrace change right now, because that's the way you're going to move forward. And you're either moving forward or going backwards. There's no standing still. And I think a lot of people right now are white knuckling it and holding on tight, just trying to hold on maybe to what was, or to hold on to try and just get some stability in their life. But the truth is, embrace change. Change is the natural law of life.
Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Today's episode brought to you by Keller Williams, Mid-Willamette, and also H&R Block of Corvallis, Albany, Lebanon, and Kaiser. Hello everybody, Russ here again for another episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Today I am here with an amazing guest, an old friend from basically church we went to years ago, and Charlyn is incredible on the things that she has done. You know, my podcast is all about how amazing people connect, and she has connected with people in an amazing way and transformed lives one after the other, and is still at it today. So I want to, first of all, welcome you today, and thank you so much, Charlyn, for coming on the podcast.
Well, Russ, it's such a pleasure to be here, and I thank you for asking me, because if I can help one more person wake up and discover the true potential within them, then I feel like my life is a great success.
Well, that is so awesome. You know, we have such a similar approach to life. Love to add value and help people and really see people make great things out of their life. I mean, there's so much potential out there. And so I'm just so excited to have you here today. First of all, before we get started, just want to remind people that my name is Russ Hedge. I'm a coach and motivational speaker. I love to add value and connect to people. And if you want to get a hold of me and learn more about that, you can go to russhedge.com, and that gives you all my connection points, information about me. I'd love to meet with you and connect with you. And we're going to move on now. Without any further ado, want to turn it over to Charlyn. Charlyn, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing.
Well, a little bit about me right now I just got a new address. We just relocated to Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been an Oregon girl for most of my life, but born in Florida. And, you know, for all of my life, the careers that I've had, I've been an entrepreneur now since I was 25 years old, Russ, when I actually started my first entrepreneurial job. And I knew that I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to not be limited by someone telling me when to work or what my worth was. I wanted to explore that. So something about me probably is I'm a bit of a risk taker, and I've always been looking for ways to connect with people and empower them. I really, really love that. And I've had several different entrepreneur careers, but most recently, 6 years ago, I discovered because my mom had a stroke, I was looking for a health program for her because she had to learn to walk again, talk again, eat again. And I had seen a picture of myself from Hawaii, and I thought I need to lose a little bit of weight myself. And I was looking for something, and I found something that was really about a life transformation. So I dove in with my mom, and fast forward 6 years later, we started coaching it for people right away, because I realized it was really a life transformation. And we have helped over 90,000 clients become the dominant force in their life by transforming their habits. So
wow,
that's like a little snapshot.
Yeah, that is incredible. You know, I think you and I just were talking about the fact that my wife, who we're all friends from the past, my wife also was inspired by you. And she and I worked to get healthy a few years back, and really appreciate you and your inspiration. And then we, of course, had some friends that worked and doing the same thing that you're doing, which helped us tremendously. I want to thank you for that, because we really, it was a big change for us.
Well, it's amazing, Russ, when we discover something that actually works, first of all, that's not an ineffective solution, but can actually change the way our energy is and the way we show up. When our body starts to get healthy and our glycemic indexes come into alignment, we have a clearer mind. And then the mind transformation can begin. You know, and I really believe that everybody wants to change something in their life, but it's difficult to do that on your own. So that was exciting for me to be able to discover a way that I could do it myself, but have someone guiding me, and then turn around and do that for others. And it was a really great fit for me to be able to have that opportunity.
And you have just blossomed and are doing incredible, incredible things. You just talked about a big speaking engagement that you have coming up and some new things and this whole move for you, which puts you in a better location. Tell us more about that.
Well, I love that you're asking because I think it's interesting right now in the current climate of the world is people are looking to make a move. And Lee and I had been, my husband Lee and I had been thinking for a while of leaving Oregon because he's wanted to come to the sun for a long time. We love the green grass of Oregon, but it can get a bit dreary. And Lee has supported every single thing that I have wanted to do. The house that when we got married, we were a blended family. I could do a whole podcast with you on blending families, but I won't today. But that whole journey for us, he was so supportive. And so I wasn't sure about Arizona initially. It's a bit desert and dry, but I realized that this is our move. First of all, it was Lee's heart's desire, and I wanted to come alongside. And I like to say, let's get behind your dream. I think it's important in our life to find people that want to get behind our dream. Those are our people. And so I wanted to do that for Lee. And as we were really exploring coming here for the last year, and then our house sold, and we just had to load up and come. And now we're living in this luxury, beautiful condo that we're going to be in for a little bit till we find our home. I realized that the power of the desert is very different than Oregon. It's a very expansive energy. It's a very magnetic energy. It's a life and death energy. It's a place where if you water, anything can grow. And I feel like that's really how we are as people. We have that kind of power in us. And also what we water in our life will grow. And so this is definitely the place where we are meant to be right now. And it's the place where the books that are inside of my heart, I want to help people with their inner vision and understanding that the vision that we have inside of us is what's driving our whole life. And so maybe we need to clean off those spectacles and that inner sight that we have. And this is the place where a lot of that is going to happen in this next season of our life. So I am incredibly grateful. We have a lot of financial well-being in our life thanks to the coaching that we do and the projects. And it's also because of our intention that's what I knew was I wanted to help have a new money story. I wanted to get out of that box of creating the same income, year after year, even as an entrepreneur. And we did because I got really clear on that story and I came into alignment and agreement and as you think, so shall it be. And it's been an exciting time. So thanks for asking about that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you talk about intentional growth, and I think that's so important in life. I mean, you talked about the desert, and if we're not growing, we're dying. And it's important to be moving forward, especially during this COVID time when you've got a whole group of people that are sitting around waiting to see what happens, and then you have another group like yourself that are really moving forward and really helping people. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the power of community, Russ. And I would love just to, kind of talk about that with you for a minute is that the power of community. I think for a long time, I was more of an eagle, doing it on my own, very capable and confident. But actually, you lose a lot of power in that place. The real power comes from what you surround yourself with.
Right.
And so it's the group that you're with, even you offering this podcast and all of you that are out there listening, you're connected to this podcast. This is part of your community. And there's a lot of power in that. And I just applaud you for that. I'm really glad you asked me to be on here today.
Yeah, it's incredible that during this time, I have been able to connect with people all over the world. The podcast I released today is a good friend out of Dublin, Ireland. The
Wow.
podcast I released Monday is a couple new friends out of Australia. So it's just amazing what you can do during this time. That really it's limitless, really, the things that you can do. And I'm really a strong believer, when God's in it, that incredible things happen. So anyway, I'm just so excited to have you here today. I wanted to ask you one more question before
Okay.
we get going because we're already running low on time. But
Wait,
so
how's that possible? Are we
I know
talkers?
it.
What's going on?
Flying by. So you have some great, incredible things coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about the speaking engagement and things you have coming up? Some information on that?
Well, we actually, Russ, I think that what you're referencing is the one I just completed. I
Oh,
flew to
okay.
Salt Lake
Sorry.
City. No, I love it. I'd love to talk about it anyways. I flew to Salt Lake City. I'm partners with an amazing company where we coach optimal health and well-being, which is
Right.
actually your healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. We referenced that earlier. And we pivoted really quickly. The person with the most flexibility has the greatest chance of success. And so
Right.
that's really what we coach, and we pivoted and we moved our live event in Atlanta to a virtual stream from Salt Lake City, a film studio. And about 30 of the top leaders in our company flew there, and we were filmed. And I spoke on the role of the coach, of how we actually coach and what that person does and how we connect. And I'm happy to share that, so you could, however you want to link that up. But that went out to almost 200,000 people that viewed that we saw, that actually live viewed it. So
Wow.
that was a big, exciting thing. And I'll tell you, it was out of my comfort zone. Speaking for me is pretty natural, but not in a TV film studio, and not with a teleprompter, and not where you're standing there talking to people, but there's nobody there.
Right.
And I was excited because one of my dreams is to interview people all over the world, and really make that connection of their lives and share that hope and goodwill, and just really awakening the world to the possibility of creating whatever you want, that anything is possible. And so that was kind of, I think, a preempt for some of the projects I have coming up, for some of the books that I'm working on, a series about, like I said, empowering people with what's going on inside of them, starting there, because the mind controls everything. Some workshops, I just finished an Envision workshop in Oregon before the outbreak, where people came together in a small setting, and it was a 2-day workshop called Envision. And we really worked on our money stories, our love stories, because what you're thinking, you're getting a match for. You always get a match. If you think it's on that frequency, you're getting a match back on that frequency. So if you want to pivot and shift, it starts in the mindset. So that's really what I'm passionate about. And those are some of the projects I'm working on right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, people are going to want to know more about you, because you are incredible in the things that you're doing. So how do we get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to my website, charlyngreene.com is one place, and you can get a great little morning routine gift on there. You can find me on Facebook, of course. Charlyn Jean Chambers Green is my whole big long name. And so those are two of the ways. And of course, Instagram is the Charlyn Jean, because I'm the one. And I think there'll be other ways coming up also.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure and link to those in the podcast, and so people have those as well. And I just want to tell you how much I really appreciate you and all that you're doing. It's very exciting. You're such a high energy person. You give, I think I'm high energy. You give me passion and energy to do better. So I really appreciate that. And thank you again so much for coming on the show. We're going to stay in touch.
I love it, Russ. And I would just love to leave your audience with just a thought about change, if I could, before we go.
Go ahead.
Great. I just want to encourage all of you out there listening to embrace change right now, because that's the way you're going to move forward. And you're either moving forward or going backwards. There's no standing still. And I think a lot of people right now are white knuckling it and holding on tight, just trying to hold on maybe to what was, or to hold on to try and just get some stability in their life. But the truth is, embrace change. Change is a natural law of life. So I want to just have you maybe thinking this thought: I welcome change. I'm willing to change. I choose to change my thinking. I choose to change the words I use. I move from the old to the new with ease and with joy. I embrace change. And so I just encourage all of you out there to just take that path, and the world will open up for you. And thanks, Russ, for having me as your special guest today.
That is so awesome. Well, listen, everybody, I will make sure and link to all the ways to get a hold of Charlyn. Also, remember, if you want to know more about me or get in touch with me, I love to connect. It's russhedge.com. And until we meet again, have an awesome day. See you later.